Okay. Today's flight will be from Faro in Portugal to Bilbao in Spain. Total distance of 519 nautical miles. We have used some briefed planned flight. Planned using high-altitude airways. Using the abort SID and expecting an arrival into runway 30. We will get the approach en route and select the appropriate star. Weights are calculated from some brief. With 60 packs, a takeoff weight of 74.9 tons, we have 11.8 tons of fuel for the trip. By the way, take a look at the new Plan G. It's very handy for simulator pilots, giving you all a very accurate and detailed ground map, full of detail. See you on the flight deck.
During this flight you'll see myself and the first officer using the dual-sided MCDUs with MFD plan and navigation source selected to FMS1 on my side and MFD nav navigation source selected VOR2 on the first officer's side, and we'll also transition from the star into ILS DME runway 30, all using the detailed features simulated in the aircraft.
Pleased to assist you. I'm Jose, the ramp manager. Jose, airline ramp coordinator. Should you need something, you are welcome to ask.
Boarding flow.
Ready to board passengers. Parking brake set.
I am Jose. Okay, it's my job to provide that. Jose calling the coordination.
Ground coordination here. What do you need?
Okay, Captain, we'll ask them to send the passengers.
How are you doing, boss? What can I do for you?
Open all doors. Master caution pressed. Boarding passengers.
Window. Okay, so we'll enter the route into the FMC. Control Shift and 1 activates your keyboard and you can type it directly into the FMC. Lima Papa Foxtrot Romeo is Faro in Portugal, and we're flying to Bilbao. Lima Echo Bravo Bravo. Enter this pair into the route and your flight plan from SimBrief is loaded. Go to the weights page in the EFB and enter the weights as per SimBrief. Enter again and the performance data will be copied into the FMC. With the keyboard activated, Control Shift and 1 for the captain's side, Control Shift and 2 for the first officer's side. It's very easy to string together your own flight plan route, and at this stage we thoroughly check the route to eliminate any discontinuities. What's our call sign?
The call sign is Nostru Air 231.
The Nostru Air 231. Over to clearance. Set 118.2, com 1.
Affirmative. Com 1, 118.2. Got that.
Clearance delivery Nostru Air 231 for ATC clearance to Bilbao.
Nostrum Air 231, ground clear to Lima Echo Bravo Bravo via published departure procedures. Then as filed flying flight level 6044356, departure frequency 119.4. No term advisory. The pilot must assume responsibility for obstruction clearance when departing from this airport. Remain not less than 1,000 feet above or aside from terrain at all times. Remember to advise the controller when you proceed on course.
Roger, cleared to Bilbao as well. Climbing.
I believe you guys have everything you need. It's time for me to leave.
356, first frequency on departure 119.4. Nostru Air 231.
Nostrum Air 231, read back correct.
Boarding complete.
Completed, Captain.
Hi Captain, the passenger boarding is complete and I have a load sheet here for you when you're ready.
How are you doing, boss? At your service, Captain.
Ground Nostrum Air 231, request push and start.
I'll be back.
Clear to push. Start at your discretion. Contact the
Sure.
ground when you're ready. 1118.
Many thanks.
Roger, clear to push and start Nostru Air 231.
VHF going to ground.
Our flight today. As you locate your assigned seats, please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more room for larger items in our overhead compartment. If you need assistance, contact the flight
Your
attendant.
takeoff briefing, Cap.
If you are unable
Okay,
to accommodate
you are the pilot flying. Takeoff is directed runway 28. Follow ABC altitude restrictions. Filed plan is using Ever 8 Victor Star. Takeoff will be using takeoff go around power, no D restrictions. If either of us see something we don't like before V1, call stop. You will control the aircraft and apply maximum braking. I will select reverse thrust. We will clear the runway and contact tower. If we see something we don't like after V1, continue to fly runway heading. You will fly the aircraft and contact tower. I will work the problem with the quick reaction manual. If we need to return to the airport, we'll decide the best action and inform ADC. That's it. Any questions?
No question.
That's great. Let's hope for a nice smooth ride up to Bilbao. Boy, it's still nice weather out there, just like home.
Thanks.
No problem. Looking forward to some interesting flights. Per ardu ad astra, as we say.
Before start flow.
Before starting engines procedure, no smoking signs. On. Fasten seat belt signs. Switched on. Departure field elevation set on landing elevation panel. Left fuel booster pump on. Right fuel booster pump on. Hydraulic pump 3 on. Emergency lights on. Altimeter set. FMS set up for departure. Radios and nav aids set for departure. Ready for takeoff. Brief completed. Ready for before start checklist. Before start done.
Before start check.
Before start checklist. Passenger signs.
On.
Landing altitude.
Set.
Boost pumps.
Hello, Captain.
Set.
We are ready for
Altimeters.
I'm about to disconnect.
FMS
We'll give
and
you a
Oz.
hand signal as soon
Set.
as possible.
Radios
See you,
and nav aid.
Set for departure.
Takeoff briefing.
Complete.
Before start. Checklist complete.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
Launching gear. Departure check completed. Flight has been inserted. Release parking brake.
Release parking brake.
Beg your pardon? Repeat please. Parking brake on.
Yes.
Cheers.
Commencing
Parking
push.
brake release.
All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Start engine 2.
Starter engaged. Engine 2. Start valve open. Engine 2 and 2. Fuel flow. Engine 2. Starter cut out. Engine 2.
Start engine 1.
Start switch engaged. Engine 1. Start valve open. Engine 1 and 2. Fuel flow. Engine 1. Starter cut out. Engine 1.
After start flow.
After start. Anti-ice is required. Pivot heat switched on. Electrics checked. Right fuel booster pump off. Left fuel booster pump off. Bleed source set to both engines. Generator 1 on. Generator 2 enabled. Air conditioning pack left auto. Air conditioning pack 2 auto. Recirculating fan 1 on. Disconnecting a PU generator. A PU discarded. Hydraulic pump 1 auto. Hydraulic pump 3 on. Hydraulic pump 3B auto. Hydraulic pump 2 auto. Yaw damper armed. Nose wheel steering set to on. Stabilizer trim needs to be selected by you now. Lock trim on. Activated. Ready for after start check.
May remind you that your hand luggage should be placed in the overhead compartment.
Confirm.
In the
Set.
interest of safety,
Parking
any
brake
bags
is
or
required
clothing
now.
Set
placed
parking
Captain.
brake.
beneath the seat in front of
Okay.
you. And all
Parking
doors
brake
and exits must be
set.
kept clear. If you do need any assistance, the cabin crew will be pleased to help. Thank you.
Before taxi fly.
Taxi flow. Reverser 1 arm. Reverser 2 arm. Window heat. On. Strobe lights. Now. On. Taxi lights. Switched on. Takeoff trim set. Trim green indicating. Flight instruments check. Check nav source FMS or VOR for auto flight is brief, sir. Brake temp check. Ready. For the flight controls check. Control stick. Right. Right aileron up. Left aileron down. Control wheel. Left. Left aileron up. Right aileron down. Ready for taxi checklist. Control stick. Centered. Elevator. Up. Elevator. Down.
Please direct your attention to the cabin crew.
Elevator. Pitch centered.
There is an instruction card in the seat pocket.
Rudder. Full of deflection right. Rudder. Full of deflection left. Rudder. Centered. Flight controls. Check successfully.
Fasten your seatbelt by
That's
inserting
very
the metal
kind
clip
from you.
into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seatbelt,
Taxi check.
lift the metal
Taxi
strap on the buckle.
checklist.
It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened
Flaps.
at all times while
Set
seated.
indicating.
Doors are clearly
Flight
marked with
controls.
exit signs and instructions
Check.
for door operation.
Trims.
Each door is equipped
Green
with an
and
escape
check.
slide.
Thrust reversers.
Locate the nearest
Arm.
exit to you
Flight
and
instruments.
note that the nearest
Check.
exit may be behind
FMS.
you. In an
Auto
emergency,
tune
lights
lock.
will illuminate the aisle. The
Auto
cabin
tune.
is pressurized. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a
Auto
panel will
tune.
open and oxygen masks will
What is
appear.
answer?
Remain
If we go by the
seated with
book,
your seatbelt
it must be
fastened
auto
and pull
tune.
a
Brake
mask
temperature.
towards you to
Check.
start the flow of air
Taxi checklist
Oxygen
is
will be
complete.
flowing to the mask even though
Thanks.
the bag may not inflate.
Appreciate your
Cover
kindness.
your nose and mouth with a mask. Place the elastic band around your head and tighten by pulling on the ends. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Your life jacket
Sure.
is located under your seat. Tighten the straps and once outside the aircraft, pull
Release
on the
parking
tabs
brake.
to inflate your jacket.
Parking brake released.
If the jacket fails to inflate, use the tube in the neck. Your jacket is
Roger,
equipped with a
taxi
light
2 and
that
hold
will
shot runway
automatically
28.
illuminate in water.
Nostru Air 231.
This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or in the lavatories. Cabin lights will now be turned off. Reading light buttons are located over your head. Thank you very much for your attention.
That's great, thank you for that.
Tower Ryanair 82485 mile, final runway 28. Ryanair 824, Tower Wings 305, net 10. Roger, Ryanair 8248.
Runway entry procedure.
State runway.
Runway 28.
Runway 28. Runway and heading confirmed. Landing lights. Switched on. Navigation lights. On. Strobe lights. Turned. On. Transponder. On. Weather radar. To CTR. Transponder
Yes, go
mode
ahead.
and normal. Flight
Hi,
controls
Captain.
free.
Cabin is ready
Transponder
to
on.
take off.
Clear for runway
Yes,
entry.
thanks for that.
Roger, over the tower, Nostru Air 231. Tower Nostru Air 231 is with you. Holding runway 28.
Nostru Air 231, roger.
Foxtrot 6.
Ryanair 8248, ground, taxi to the ramp.
Taxi to the ramp, roger. Ryanair 8248.
Approaching 28.
Nostru Air 231, tower, runway 28, line up and wait.
Roger, line up and wait. Nostru Air 231. Clear on the left.
Clear right.
Approaching 28. On runway 28.
Nostru Air 231, winds 305 at 10, runway 28, cleared for takeoff.
Roger, clear for takeoff, Nostru Air 231. ND range 20.
ND, distance, set to 20 miles.
Ground, German wings 2649, ready for clear. 2 Echo Delta Delta Sierra Airport.
German wings 2649, ground, cleared 2 Echo Delta Delta Sierra Airport as filed. Climb flight level 60, squawk 3172, departure frequency 119.4.
Takeoff, power set. Acceleration confirmed, go.
Departing from this airport. Remain not less than 1,000 feet above or aside from terrain at all times. Remember to advise a controller when you can proceed on course.
Cleared 2 Echo Delta Delta Sierra Airport as filed. Squawk 3172, departure
80 knots.
119.4. We'll tell them when we're on course. German wings 2649.
German wings 2649, read back correct.
Ground, German wings 2649, request taxi.
German wings 2649,
Rotate.
ground, taxi holding point, runway 28, QNH, niner.
Runway 28, QNH,
D2.
niner.
Positive
German
climb.
wings 2649.
Yep. Gear, coming up.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1, selected.
Flaps up.
Flaps coming up. Gear, up hand, locked. Flaps
Nav mode
verified. Flaps verified. Track hold. Activated.
Speed mode on.
Speed hold. Active now.
Autopilot engaged.
Yep. Autopilot enabled now.
After takeoff flow.
After takeoff flow. Taxi lights off. Air ignition switches off unless weather captain. Reverser 1 disarmed. Reverser 2 disarmed. Continuous ray light selected off. Nocturne on, armed. Fuel cross flow left on.
Nostru Air 231,
Fuel cross flow right on.
119.4.
Fuel cross flow mode set to
Nostru
auto.
Air 231.
Beacon clear has been pressed. Ready for after takeoff check.
Climb thrust.
Climb thrust.
Nostru Air 231, I'm not receiving a transponder. Be sure you get the
Climb
flight lights walking 4, 3,
Climb
5, 6.
thrust. 1,000 to go.
Squawk 4356.
Yep. Transponder code 4356.
Thanks.
Forget it.
Nostru Air 231 departure, radar contact, climb flight level 150, and just let me know when you can proceed on course.
Roger, up to 15,000, Nostru Air 231. Set altitude, 15,000.
Altitude. Pulled. Already selected.
Set flight level 150.
Selecting. Flight level 150.
Speed mode on.
Okay. Speed. Pulled. On. Got that.
Set speed 250.
Yep. Setting. Speed 250. Done.
Reduce speed not to exceed 250 knots.
Roger, 215, Nostru Air 231.
Crossing 10,000.
Passing transition in the climb.
Transition incline. Landing light. Now. Off barometer to 1013. 290902 on my side. Set in 1 for mark. 0.74. That's about 79% N1.
Set flight level 200.
Setting. Flight level 200. Done.
Set 115.8, nav 2.
Affirmative. The OR2, 115.8.
Curitiba, Oceaneiro 6300, tá passando 3700, curva na direita.
Oceaneiro 6300, boa noite,
Vol,
vigilância.
Got it. Net 1, 15.5.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Set standard, please.
Standard altimeter. Reverting to standard altimeter setting. 29902 on my side. Cross-check.
Cross-check.
Cross-checked, thanks.
Curva à esquerda, proa 230. Nessa proa, corrija. Para evitar tráfego, curva à direita, proa 340 e ascensão livre para o
340, ascensão para o 200, 6300.
Correto, 6300, após cruzar o nível 090, essa é uma navegação para o ascensão.
Pode 010, pode Cascavel,
0712, descent to 4,600. 4,600, 712.
Corrija.
Para evitar tráfego, curva à direita, proa 340 e ascensão livre para o
340.
1,000 to go.
Correto, 6300, após cruzar o nível 090, essa é uma navegação para o ascensão.
Roger, up to Lisbon Centre, Nostru Air 231. Lisbon Centre, Nostru Air 231 is with you, climbing flight level 230.
Nostru Air 231, Lisbon control, roger, climb flight level 290.
Roger, up to flight level 290 on Nostru Air 231. Set flight level 290.
Affirmative. Setting. Flight level 290.
System display status.
ECAM. Status. Pressed.
System display fuel.
ECAM. Fuel. Pressed.
So I have a slight imbalance in the fuel tanks. We'll just correct that with the use of the pumps. Once corrected, I'll leave the gravity cross feed on.
Nostru Air 231, watch your altitude. Your assigned altitude is flight level 290.
Roger, flight level 290, Nostru Air 231. Roger, until has been controlled by Nostru Air 231. Lisbon Centre, Nostru Air 231 is relief landing flight level 290.
Nostru Air 231, Lisbon Control, roger.
1,000 to go.
Nostru Air 231, climb flight level 340.
Roger, up to flight level 340, Nostru Air 231, thank you. Set flight level 340.
Yep. Selecting flight level 340.
In the cruise.
In the cruise. Seat belt signs switched off. No smoke lights now off. Switching barometer to standard setting. N1 for cruise.
Cancel caution.
Master caution depressed.
Yes, that's an ice warning. We'll select anti-ice momentarily. What's our altitude?
34,001 feet.
Yes, it's unusual to get ice warning at this altitude, but we'll put the anti-ice on anyway.
German wings 603, contact Lisbon Control 133.55, Lisbon
Wing
Control
and head
133.
switched on.
55, German wings 603.
My pleasure.
Meal time.
Stella, can you come up here, please?
Did you need something?
Hello, cabin crew. Yes, you can go ahead and serve meals now.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we'll begin our meal service for the flight. Please refer to the menu given to you on boarding for the 2 meal choices and the beverage choices available. We request that you keep the aisles clear to assist the flight attendants to serve you efficiently and also for your own safety. Thank you.
Thanks, girl, you're a star. That's great, thanks.
Nostru Air 231, traffic 10 to 11 o'clock. 1 mile southbound, Ryanair 737, at flight level 350.
ND range 20.
Nav display. Range set to 20 miles.
Roger, Nostrum Air 231, have the traffic.
Ryanair 1766, traffic 1 to 2 o'clock. 1 miles northbound at flight level 340. Ryanair 1766.
ND range 80.
ND scale set to 80. Selected.
Set 117.1 knots.
Okay. The OR2 17.1. Done.
Corrija. Para evitar tráfego, curva à direita. Proa 340 e atenção livre para o destino.
340, descend, flight level 290.
Correto.
Roger, down to flight level 290, Nostru Air 231. Set flight level 290.
Setting. Altitude 29,000.
Speed mode on.
Yep. Speed mode now on. Got that.
Descent flow.
Roger, descent. Landing elevation set. Fuel right booster pump on. Fuel left booster pump on.
Commencing descent.
Radar select weather ordering captain. Cast checked and cleared. Landing data nav radios tune and set. Window heat switched on. Seat belt signs switched on. No smoke lights on. Landing lights switched on. Continuous ray light on. Approach briefing done. Are there any constraints in which missed approach? Descent flow down ready for checklist.
Would you please return to your seats and securely fasten your seatbelts? Please
Set
ensure that your
115.9
seat backs and tables are in a
altitude.
fully upright position
Yep.
for landing.
The OR2
And that your window blinds are fully
15.9.
open. Passengers seated by the emergency exits are requested to clear this area and then use not to go.
Affirmative.
Correto.
Nostru Air 231, descend, flight level 240.
Roger, descend flight level 240. Nostru Air 231. Set flight level 240.
Roger. Selecting flight level 240. Done.
Thanks.
It's okay.
Nostru Air 231, Madrid control, roger. When ready, descend flight level 190.
Roger, down to 19,000. Nostru Air 231. Set flight level 190.
Selecting flight level 190.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. Selected.
If feasible, descend flight level 120.
Roger, down to 12,000. Nostru Air 231. Set altitude 12,000.
Yeah. Setting. Altitude 12,000. Set.
Set nav 2 track 342.
Selecting. Nav 2 course 342. Selected.
Roger, over to Madrid Centre, Nostru Air 231. Madrid Centre, Nostru Air 231 is with you, 12,000.
Nostru Air 231, Madrid control, roger.
Transition in descent. Landing lights switched on. Logo lights switched on. Wing lights switched on. Set altimeters to airport setting, Captain.
Would you please return to your seats and securely fasten your seatbelts? Please ensure that your seat seat backs and tables are in the fully upright position for landing, and that your window blind is fully
ND range
open.
40.
Passengers seated by the
EHSI
emergency
range
exits are
set
requested
to
to clear
40.
this area of any loose articles.
Your approach briefing, Cap.
Okay. We expect the ILS runway 30. Approach using the DGO 1Q star to ILS runway 30. If this changes, then expect VOR runway 10. The final approach fix is at Segum for runway 30. For runway 10 it's SAN2 with a procedure turn into the beacon Bravo Lima Victor on 115.9. The ref is 145. We will use 45 flaps. For missed approach we will turn right toward Bravo Lima Victor for a missed hold at missed approach altitude 6,000 at 210 knots at Bravo Lima Victor, or, if ADC requires, hold at Sara, DME 18 at 6,000 feet at 210 knots. I've entered this hold in the FMC for us. Any questions?
No question.
That's great. Let's hope for a nice smooth ride up to Bilbao. Boy, it's still nice weather out there, just like home.
Nostru Air 231, contact approach 120.7.
Roger, over to approach Nostru Air 231. Approach Nostru Air 231 is with you, 12,000.
Nostrum Air 231, approach, expect vectors to the runway 30.
Roger, runway 30 on Nostru Air 231. Bilbao approach Nostru Air 231. If possible, would like ILS approach runway 30.
Nostrum Air 231, when able, maintain 4,500 feet until the initial cleared the full ILS runway 30 approach.
Roger, clear the full ILS approach runway 30. Maintain 4,500 until established. Nostru Air 231, thank you. Approach flow.
Approach, sir. Start chronometer. Altimeter set QNH. Select nav source cap. Select MFD display cap. Landing lights. On. Seat belt signs. On. No smoke lights. Turned. On. Reverser 1 arm. Reverser 2 arm. Approach speed VREF +7. Set avionics for approach captain. Check decas. Check CAS and clear. Decam. Clear. Has been pressed. Any constraints. Ready for approach.
In range check. In range checklist. Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
Set. Set.
APU and bleeds.
Set.
Lights and passenger signs.
As required.
Approach. Checklist completed.
Thanks.
No problem. You're welcome. Looking forward to some interesting flights. Per ardu ad astra, as we say.
Speed knocked on.
Speed. Hold. Switched on.
Approach EasyJet 1439 is with you at flight level 60 with Mike. EasyJet 1439 approach. Expect vectors to the runway 30. Runway 30. EasyJet 1439.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just started our approach. We would kindly ask you to fasten your seatbelts again and turn off all your electronic equipment.
Iberia 446, contact tower 118.5, tower 118.5, Iberia 446. Approach Air Europe 7029 is with you at flight level 50 with Mike Air Europe 7029.
1,000 to go.
Vectors to the runway 30. Runway 30 Air Europe 7029.
Set nav to track 299.
Yep. Selecting nav 2 course 299 set.
Altimeter check.
Okay, so we'll now transition from the star on FMC navigation to VOR navigation for the ILS. MFD mode, select nav.
MFD mode, select nav.
Navigation source, select VOR1.
Navigation source, select VOR1.
Nav mode on.
Track, hold, available, now.
Flaps 1.
Speed, check. Flaps, 1, selected. Flaps verified. Localizer alive. Glide slope alive. Glide slope. Capture.
Flaps 20.
Roger. Flaps 20. Selected.
Altimeter check.
Gear down.
Got it. Gear. Speed. Check. Going. Down.
Altimeter check.
Gear. Down and secured.
Terrain. Terrain.
Affirm.
Landing flow.
Landing flow. Spoilers check down. Flaps as required. Fasten seat belt signs. Switched on. Anti-skid. Engaged. Landing lights. Now. On. Recognition lights. Switched on. Taxi lights. On. Flaps 45 and indicating. Check
Yes, go
for
ahead.
greens and missed approach.
Hi, Captain.
Altitude
Cabin
set.
is ready for landing.
Flow complete.
Yes,
David.
copy that. Thanks very much for your help.
Before landing check.
Before landing checklist. Cabin crew.
Advise.
Passenger signs.
On.
The proper checklist statement is on. Thrust reversers.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Terrain.
Flaps.
Set. Indicated. Set and indicated.
Before landing. Checklist complete.
Thanks.
Always. Your trusty servant.
Nostrum Air 2
Sure is, Captain.
contact tower 118.
Check altitude.
May we have your attention, please?
Roger, over the tower, Nostrum Air 2.
We kindly ask you to come back to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. Please refrain from using the lavatory until the seatbelt sign has been switched on.
Nostru Air 231 tower, runway 30, winds 305 at 10.
Roger, Nostrum Air 231. Air 231, wind check.
Winds 305 at 10.
Flaps full.
Okay. I beg your pardon? Flaps.
Flaps 45.
Nostru Air 231
Flaps 45,
runway 30,
selected.
clear to land.
Roger, clear to land, Nostru Air 22.
One 1,000 feet above ground.
Land man this.
Roger. Landing manual runway lights.
1,000.
Approaching 30.
Be ready.
$500 feet.
Check.
Flight slow.
Minimums.
Landing.
Flight
Landing
slow.
confirmed.
200.
Continue. Chronometer off. Clock is
Flight
stopped.
slow.
Looks good.
100. 50. Flight slow. 40. 30.
Traffic,
20.
traffic.
10.
Reverse thrust deployed. Brakes active.
4,000 feet remaining.
70 knots.
3,000 feet
Out of reverse.
remaining.
Out of reverse. Roger. Thrust idle, Captain. Ready for cleanup. Flow, Captain.
Nostru Air 231, turn off at the next high speed and hold contact ground 121.7 when runway is clear.
Roger, turn off the next high speed and hold Nostru Air 231. Clean up flow.
After landing, flow. Reverser 1 disarm. Reverser 2 disarm. A PU. The start switch. Now. On. Connecting a PU generator. A PU. Air bleed. Switched on. Continuous ray light. Off. Nose wheel steering. Turned. On. Flaps. Going. Up.
Thanks.
At your service. Flaps are up. Pivot heat off. Taxi lights switched on. Flaps verified. Strobe lights switched off. Landing lights off. Spoilers disarmed. Spoilers are down. Transponder standby. Alt wing.
Shutdown flow.
Shutdown flow. Parking brake set. Taxi lights selected. Off. Beacon lights off. Navigation lights now off. Generator 1 switched off. Closing down the engine 1. Generator 2 switched off. Engine shut down 2. Fasten seat belt signs switched off. No smoking signs switched off. Engine and hoist 1, 2 selected off. Wing and hoist off. Nose wheel steering switched off. Hydraulic pump 1 off. Hydraulic pump 2 off. Hydraulic pump 3 off. Hydraulic pump 3B off. Overhead lights off. Of course, will do. Okay, pressing the master caution switch. Done here, Captain. Ready for shutdown check.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the flight in the Aerosoft CRJ from Faro to Bilbao. As you can see, the aircraft is now fully integrated with multi-crew experience, and the first officer can run all your flows and your checklists. I've tried to demonstrate as many features of the aircraft and the functionality of multi-crew experience first officer. The aircraft is fun to fly, and it can be flown with confidence in a full live ATC environment such as VATSIM, although for this movie I use Radar Contact 4. The multi-crew experience integration is now complete, and as far as I'm concerned, the aircraft is now spot on.
Thanks for flying with us. See you on the next flight. Bye bye.